Hi, welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. My name is George Alger. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of erasing Catholic history here in Ventura. And our guest expert is Jeffrey Trissel to speak about that, who is an attorney. Welcome, Jeff, and can you give us a little info into your connection to this topic?
Thank you, George. Yes, I'm an attorney actually in San Diego with Lamandry and Jonah LLP and with the Thomas More Society of Chicago. And the missions have just always been dear to my heart and my wife's heart. And so when we heard about what was happening in Ventura and heard from some friends in Ventura about it, were quite saddened and inspired us to write a demand letter to the city and the county.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So a demand letter, sometimes you just file a lawsuit right off the bat. Other times it's more prudent to simply send a letter explaining the law, explaining how we view the law and why we would win in a lawsuit, and asking the other side to reconsider their actions in light of our legal memo. And so we hope that our letter is enough to get the city council and the county to reconsider removing imagery of Father Serra from municipal locations.
Okay, very good. And speak to the legal issue behind this.
So since the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment was incorporated against the states almost 100 years ago, one of the main principles that has evolved is the non-favoritism between religions and between religion and a religion. And how that's developed is into these tests basically saying that you cannot show favoritism and you cannot show hostility. And for a long time, the case law primarily dealt with favoritism, and holding that, for example, a cross on public property could be seen as favoritism to Christianity. But more recently, the cases deal with hostility to religion and how the courts are saying, well, no, we can't have the government acting hostile to people of faith. And one of the examples that was given in the most recent Supreme Court case in 2019 was the idea of tearing down religious displays, and how if you're not Catholic, they might not mean anything to you. But if you are of a specific faith, when they tear that down, it does feel like the government is targeting you and singling you out for unfavored treatment. And that violates the Constitution.
Okay, very good. And do you happen to know if there's any precedents for this elsewhere?
So the argument has been tried several times, and it's generally not been successful because the courts don't want to impugn the motives of government officials. And recently, especially in the past 50 years, it's hard to really see that prejudice was really the motivating factor behind some government action. But in 2019, I think Justice Alito essentially revived the argument. And that was a case called American Legion, the American Humanist Association. And basically, that was a case about the American Humanist Association trying to have a cross taken down. And so it was not about preventing the cross from being taken down. It was trying to force it to be taken down. But in his opinion, which was joined by the majority of the court and was therefore controlling, he did talk about how obviously we can't force it to be taken down because that would be hostility to Christianity. And so that idea is now revived. And I think we're going to see a lot more cases arguing, because that case came out in June of 2019. And as far as I know, this is the first attempt to apply it vigorously.
Okay, very good. Now, to be clear, this issue really is centered upon the image of Father Serra on a county seal and not the statue that's already been removed. Is that correct?
Right. So my understanding is that a local group has already brought a lawsuit to try to have the statue, to prevent it from being removed, and now to try to have it put back. And we didn't really feel like we needed to interfere with their lawsuit in any way. If that's what they want to focus on, they can focus on that. Our concern was really that after the statue was taken down, the county and the city said, we're going to go further. We're going to see if we can find any place where his image is and remove it. And to us, that was what was scary. The idea that they're going to keep trying to erase all references to Father Serra.
Jeff, for those who may not be well educated on the historical significance of Father Serra, can you comment on that, in particular in relation to his, how he fits into the Catholic Church?
Right. So Father Serra is viewed by the Catholic Church as a saint, right? He went through the canonization process, which was a lengthy process when the Vatican vetted his credentials, his history, and determined that he exhibited heroic virtue and is worthy of being exalted and being revered by Catholics, across the world. So from our perspective, he is a holy man. And the attacks on his character that have come out recently, I'm not a Father Serra scholar. I'm an attorney. But I think for many Catholics, there's no need to go any further than saying, well, the Vatican did this research. U.S. History professors examined both sides, presented reports to the Vatican did their own research, and determined that this is a holy man that Catholics should revere. And so attacks on him feel like attacks on the church and on Catholics who listen to the church.
Thank you. All right, Jeff, we're just about out of time here. I'm wondering if you could provide a website that viewers could go to for more information, and if you have a summating message for the viewers.
Thank you. Yes. The demand letter which we sent is available on www.thomasmoresociety.org, and it lays out the legal claims in 10 pages. And as a final point, I think if we state that, people have said that Father Serra was a symbol of the oppression of the indigenous people. And you got to look at, if we're going to go past history, what was he a symbol really of? And for Catholics, he's a symbol of them and of their importance, and how we are no longer, or we used to no longer be, an oppressed minority, and we were fully accepted into the community, and now we're being pushed out again.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. We're going to wrap things up now. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.